Hello everybody, welcome to the Stripe Show. I'm your host, Travis Fulton, episode 17, a very special edition here. It's 4th of July week. Happy Independence Day, everybody. I hope you get out there and play some golf. Speaking of golf, I played yesterday right here in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, TPC Sawgrass, the stadium course. And you know what? I did something that I've never done before on that golf course. I birdied 16, 17, and 18 at the stadium course. First time ever, and I want to share with you my shot on 17. Check this out. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
How about that shot on 17? I kicked that in for birdie, and then I hit it to a foot on 18 to go 3 for 3, 16, 17, and 18. That was a lot of fun. Take that, Pete and Alice Dye. I love TPC Sawgrass. I love the stadium course. And I'm out here playing again here at Jacksonville Golf and Country Club, the host of the Stripe Show. We have a packed show here today. First off, we got a special 14 strong coming up. I caught up with one of the greatest teachers of all time, David Ledbetter, over the weekend in Orlando. We talked about some of his players and some of the things that he likes to see, in particularly on the downswing. I want to play off of that and really get into the downswing this week and how to shallow out so you can rotate through impact. You're not going to miss that. And then also Jake Thurm, 18Birdies' own staff instructor. He's going to participate in this week, Show Us Your Swing. He's going to break down someone's swing. And of course, I will break down Show Us Your Swing. We got 3 really good ones this week, and I want to kick it off with a young man by the name of Greg. Watch this. I got to hit this shot here into the 9th, and I'll be right back. Hey Greg, you're doing a really good job with your swing. I love this first move. Look at that club face. Fantastic. Look at that club right there. Fantastic. Top of the swing. Fantastic. Love the wrist angles. You're doing a really good job with your golf swing. I wish my swing would have looked like that when I was 13. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to encourage you to get this right hip to turn a little bit more out of the way. And I want to show you something here at the top where when you get to the top of the swing from this camera angle here, I want to see if we can get a little more space between your knees here at the top. We should see a little daylight in there. And at your age, I think if we can get that right hip to turn, it'll get your legs to be a little bit more active to the top. And that'll just give you a little bit more power. It'll give you a little bit more time to square the club face up through impact. But lots of good stuff in your swing. Let's talk about the right hip, and I want to show you a good checkpoint in creating some space between the legs. Hey, thanks for being a fan of the Stripe Show. I appreciate it. All right, Greg. Hey, thanks so much for the video, and I know you're a fan of the Stripe Show. We appreciate you watching each and every week. You got a good golf swing. Whoever you're taking lessons from, go up to them and tell them they're doing a very good job at the age of 13. Now, a couple things I want to share with you. The first is I think we can just get your right hip to turn just a little bit more. I talk about that a lot here on the Stripe Show. I'm not a big fan of keeping this very, very stagnant. I would let this right hip really kind of turn back and check out my left knee. Let your left knee point behind the golf ball like that. I think that'll get you a little more loaded up here like this. And the other thing it'll do is it'll help the lead arm work just a little bit more around you. And I want to show you that from the target line. So we're going to go to the target line now. So again, my right hip turns back. Good checkpoint here. If you look from this camera, you'll see some space in here. If you were to stand here and put a mirror just to the right here and turn, get some space in between your knees, right? Don't go here. That space goes away, all right? So good turn in the hip, get some space in between the knees. I really like that for you. And I think it'll let the left arm start to travel just a little bit more around the body, cover up the shoulder, and I like that as well. Now, as you get older, okay, I think this right elbow, something to consider is as you start to turn the hip, get some space, left arm complements that,
you could probably start to get this elbow to start to pinch a little bit more towards the left, so it'll keep you a little bit more in front of you. It doesn't bother me right now. I think that turn will help the most, but I think in time, getting the elbow to go from there into here in front of you a little bit more will be something that you could start to look at as you go. But I like your golf swing, young man. You keep doing that. Let's give it a try here. This is actually something that I work on a little bit in my swing, trying to get my legs more dynamic and show some space, right? And I feel a little bit out of control when I do that, when I really get after it like that. But I know it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do for you as well. So give that a try. All right, show us your swing. Number 2 comes from Dalen. No shirt, no golf. Not here on the Stripe Show. No shirt, no problem. Check it out.
All right, Dalen. Hey, good stuff in your swing. Like your style, man. Flip-flops, no shirt, just ripping the driver out in the field. I'll tell you what, you rotate like a champ. Look at this as I come down to impact. I mean, that's phenomenal right there. How open your hips are, your shoulders. Really good stuff. You look like a good ball striker because of the way you rotate through the shot. Now, I think my advice to you, it looks like when you go back, looks like your spine might be kind of leaning towards the target and then a little bit kind of moving towards the golf ball. All right, let's do that again. So you can see, if you watch your head, you can see your head's kind of maybe going down towards the ball. And I think that's because your spine, if we were to look from face on, it's leaning towards the target, perhaps too much that way. So I want to show you something that I think will help you stay in your spine angle going back and keep you the same distance from the golf ball. But other than that, you do a really good job coming through impact with that rotation. So let me show you a couple things here.
Hey, Dalen, I like your style. It's summer, man. It's hot. Just shed it down and keep it going. Let me tell you something. You got a good golf swing. Your rotation through impact, your ability to come in here to impact and get your hips open, your shoulders open, little bend in that trail elbow, it's fantastic. Probably the best rotation through impact we've seen yet here on the Stripe Show, so keep it up. Now, one of the things, small concern, it looks like from this view here, if we were looking at it, and of course I'm right-handed here, is that when you turn, your spine looks like it might be going just a little bit too much towards the target. So just be careful with that, right? So when you get in there, of course, you've just got just a subtle tilt away. For me, that's to the right. For you, lefty, that would be to the left. From there, when you turn, just feel like you're going to stay a little bit more that way rather than letting your spine go this way, okay? So I think if you can do that, it'll keep you a little bit more centered up. It'll keep you just a little bit more behind it. And with that rotation, I really like that for you. So here we go. I'm going to set up, little bit of tilt behind it, then I'm just going to try to stay right there. I'm not going to go here and then towards it. All right, and that'll keep us nice and centered. I'm going to try to rotate just like you, Dalen. I'm going to really try to get out of the way. Oh, man, that felt good. I pulled it a little bit, but that rotation is special. Love your style. What's going on here? I mean, you just never know what's going to happen here on the Stripe Show. My man Tom following your lead, Dalen. I don't know. Let's get to 14 strong. All right, time for 14 strong and a special one this week. Over the weekend, I did an event with David Ledbetter, one of the most successful teachers of all time. Certainly a pioneer, paved the way, someone that I've learned a lot from. And after the event, I caught up with him on a couple of his players going into the Open Championship. He coaches Rafa Cabrera-Bello, Ben On, and so many others, and has so many major championships under his belt over probably the 40 years of teaching that he's had. And he came out with a book there a while back. It's called The Ace Swing. And David's always been a teacher who likes to see the club shaft, you know, kind of a little bit more vertical than it is coming down. If you're in social media and you're watching and you're following a lot of the top teachers, shallowing it out on the downswing, something that we talk about here a lot on the Stripe Show, getting the club shaft to shallow out coming down. This is something that David's been teaching for many, many years. I want to share with you a short little clip to kick off the 14 strong here on the downswing. Check it out. All right, back here on the Stripe Show here at PGA Tour Superstores, Altamont Springs, a brand new store here in the area. And look who I found here, one of the top coaches ever in the game, Mr. David Ledbetter. How are you, David? Thank you for being on the Stripe Show. We've got the Open Championship coming up, and I know that you're working with a few players, so I thought we'd just kind of give a little update going in, see how they're doing, starting with Rafa.
Right, Rafa Barabea, yeah, he's a player that's got better every year, really the last 5 years. He's a really sound player, he's a great athlete. He's probably the best shape on tour, I would think, at least in the top 5% anyway. And you know, I've been working with Rafa now for about 6 years, and he's got a very solid golf swing, beautiful rhythm, and so, you know, as far as the work we're doing with him, it's more maintenance. I mean, it's not a case of keep you on shape. Yeah, he's got a very solid swing. I mean, more than anything, we've worked a lot on his short game now, because that, for a Spaniard, believe it or not, I mean, you just do Sevi and the Lazabal, I mean, but his short game was only average. His short game was a lot better, and I think if he gets more consistent with his putting, I mean, he is deemed in my mind to win a major in the next couple of years.
He's a solid player.
Really solid.
He's just kind of right there, seems to be under the radar, ready to maybe
Exactly.
He's going to jump here soon.
Exactly, and he's obviously gearing up, hopefully to play this year again.
Absolutely, yeah. So, he kind of, to me, when I look at him, it looks A-swing to me. Would you say?
Yeah, look, I've taught the A-swing, okay, and let me just get one thing straight. The A-swing is a commercial name for something that, hey, I wanted to bring out a new instruction book, so I accentuated a little bit in certain areas, but I've always, if you go back to Nick Faldo days, you go back to Nick Price days, I've always felt that the backswing should be a little steeper than the downswing. Now, that's just always been my opinion, and because it's easier, you know, to get it from here to here, and this is what everybody works on, and that's really what I worked on with the cover. A lot of people didn't like it, but it gave her more distance, it gave her a consistent draw, and so to me, especially for most amateurs, I mean, to get the slightly vertical, and that's what you're absolutely right. Good observation. With Rafa had this sort of big round here and then up, and he's shortened the swing considerably by getting the club sort of a little more up on plane.
All right, good stuff as always with David Ledbetter. I love doing events with him, and that was there at the PGA Tour Superstore in Orlando there, sponsored by Callaway. A-swing, he's had a lot of success getting that shaft to kind of be a little more vertical and then shallowing out coming down. And if you watch a Stripe Show, you follow my stuff, shallowing out on the downswing is something generally I like to see, and really a huge buzz across social media with so many of the teachers. So what does shallowing out mean? I want to go to the target line here, and as we go to the target line, you'll see I've got a couple clubs set up here. I've got this stick down representing my target line, and then I've got another club just to the inside about 30 degrees. So when we go to the top of the swing, shallowing out, right? Watch this club. You can see how the shaft is going to fall closer to horizontal, right? The sweet spot is falling back behind the handle, okay? Steepening would be the opposite. Watch this. Okay, so you can see how the shaft got closer to vertical. Now the sweet spot is on top of the handle. So what we want to see is we want to see the sweet spot start to fall and shallow out. Now, with David, he's always taught A-swing, kind of get the shaft a little bit more vertical, and then shallow it out, right? Now, a lot of players and a lot of teachers, they like to see the club a little bit more here at the top, but still work back underneath. Now, on the Stripe Show, you hear me all the time talk about the club head initially starting out here, then you turn, and then it shallows out. I see way too many of you in here quickly. And when you get in here quickly, you're going to steepen. All right? So, kind of setting this up here, little out there. I generally like that, right? Now, whether you like to get a little more vertical like David, or the club's a little bit more there, let's just kind of work here today on shallowing out. And you'll notice when I'm shallowing out the shaft, this is a great visual here. See this club just to the inside? You can see the club start to match up to that shaft on the ground, right? Now, ideally, it might be here, but I think for most, getting that to match up to that inside shaft is a great visual. All right, so how do we shallow it out, right? How do we get this club to shallow out? The first component I want to talk about is this right elbow here and how it's going to pinch more of the left elbow. All right, here we go. We're going to go back to target line. We call this external rotation. Watch my elbow. I'm going to kick it in. I'm going to kick it in. Golf posture. I'm going to kick it in. You got to have some range here. If you're locked up, then you need to open this up some. Back in here, external rotation. The right elbow is going to pinch the left. Where does that take the sweet spot? Look at that club. Yeah. Right elbow moving away from the left. Vertical. It's going the other way. So I go up to the top. I feel the right elbow pinching the left. That has a beautiful effect on shallowing out the shaft. I like that. I'm going to hit one here. I'm going to pinch, match it up, and that felt pretty good. Right elbow pinching the left. Back to face on. Second component, lead wrist. We're going to flatten it out. We're going to bow it out. Right, everyone see that there? See that bowed wrist? Got my shiny red glove here from Callaway, 4th of July. Bow it out. Not going to cup it. I'm going to bow it out. Here we go, back to target line. Lead wrist to the top. Starting to bow it. Where does that sweet spot go? Back behind. Now I'm going to cup it. And when I cup it, I kind of pull, and you can see the shaft gets vertical. The left wrist starting to bow or curl under with the right elbow pinching. Beautiful. I love those two things, right? Pinch and curl. Bow the lead wrist. Beautiful effect on the club shaft. Final component, back to face on. Little bit of side bend to the right goes a long ways. You can see as I come down, little side bend to the right. Don't go to the left, okay? Go back to target line here. If I go to the left, watch the club. If I go to the left, if I go to the left, if I stay to the right, okay? That side bend, face on here, that side bend to the right with a little weight shift into the lead foot. You see my weight going to my lead foot. My left hip starting to turn, staying in that side bend will really help support that club shaft shallowing out. So I know that's a lot. Pinch the right elbow, bowing, flattening the lead wrist with a little bit of side bend to the right. Beautiful trio to work on in a pump drill, the club on the ground. Look at that club. All right, and really feel that. Great trio to shallow out that club shaft, and that'll get it more on the center of the face. Grade 14 strong, kicked off by one of the best instructors in the game, David Ledbetter. Thank you so much for that. Work on this drill, shallow it out, and I think you're going to hit the golf ball a lot better. All right, how do you get involved with the Stripe Show? I get that question all the time. I want to send you a swing. Well, check this out. Hey there, Travis Fulton here with the Stripe Show. You want to get involved? What's on your mind? Send me a question, tweet it to @18Birdies app or email it to the Stripe Show at 18birdies.com. But perhaps you really need some help. I want you to send me a video, and in that video I want you to tell me what the tendencies are with your ball flight so I can help you. Film your swing, from face on, where you're looking at me just like this, or the target line. One of these two angles is what I need to see to give you some good feedback. So I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make you a deal. I'm gonna show you my swing. Now, I want you to show us your swing. It's that simple. Just send an email to the Stripe Show at 18birdies.com, face on or down the line, and I help you right here. Good information, right order. And remember, like us on 18 Birdies Facebook, and if you share it, you know the deal. You get a mulligan from me. Tell your buddies after every share. Thanks so much for being a part of the Stripe Show. We're rolling here. Show us your swing, number 3, and this one comes from Carson. All right, let's take a look at the swing here. Lots of good stuff. I like the setup position, good grip, good tilt in the spine. I think the biggest thing here is you go back, you'll see the spine kind of drop a little bit. See the head kind of lowering down relative to that tree behind you. I'll play that again here. Watch your head. You can see it kind of starting up on that branch, and then as you go back, you can see it start to kind of dip down. So we got a little bit of a dip going back, and then from there you'll see yourself start to stand up here as you come into impact. Really good stuff here at the bottom though, with the wrist angles. Club face looks nice, body's rotating, nice balanced finish. Lots of good stuff in the swing. I want to just eliminate this little dip going back, and if we can get you taller to the top, then I think it'll be a little easier coming down through impact to square things up. So lots of good stuff. Let me show you how to stay level throughout the swing. Here it comes. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Be safe this week. And Carson, good looking golf swing, my friend. I've got a couple things that I think is going to help you out. I really like the way the club face is looking at address and then how it's coming into impact. I would bet you probably hit it pretty darn straight. Now you'll notice in the video I said you were dipping just a little bit. All right, I want to clean that up. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and pan out here, Tom. And what we were seeing there as you went to the top of the swing is that when you would turn, you would see your head start to drop down this way. Now what's happening there is your spine, which bows forward, is kind of staying down this way. All right? If I try to stay down and turn, then I lower. What you need is you need your spine to actually work more this way, extend a little bit. A little counterintuitive, but this extension in the spine is actually going to help you stay taller. And I want to show you that here from the target line view. So we're going to take our setup here. I bow forward. I turn. If I stay down, look at my head drops. Okay, now I'm going to turn and I'm going to extend a little bit. Now, in the context doing it statically, you'll feel like you're actually standing up a little bit, right? And you should feel a little bit of that right leg kind of maybe standing up and that spine extending back, and that'll keep you taller and more level. And I like that because when you dip, then you got to go up, and we saw that. When you stay level, now you can just turn and stay level, and I think that'll be more conducive for you as you play in high school and you look to maximize power and accuracy. So here we go, back to face on here. You could just set up here, have someone as you set up, if you were to look up, just point the club right at your eyes, turn, and then look, and you should still be the same level. If you look up, there it is, and then you feel your head drop and you know that your spine went too much down. Little easy checkpoints to help. Here we go, good setup. Little extension in the spine. Turn and burn. All right, turn and burn. That'll feel a little different too. It'll feel a little different. You might catch it thin at first, but you'll work it out. Hey, I'll tell you what, work on that and then send me a video here in a couple weeks. I'll put you back on the Stripe Show again and we'll see how we're doing. All right, time for our fourth Show Us Your Swing. This one's Ethan, but I brought in a very special guest this week, one of 18 Birdies' own, Jake Thurm, one of the most talented young teachers in the game. He's going to give me a break this week. Take it away, Jake.
Hey everybody, Jake Thurm. I am talking to you on behalf of the Stripe Show, Travis Fulton, 4th of July, so I figured I'd use red, white, and blue. How original. Anyways, I got my guy Ethan right here. He's 13 years old. Ethan, whoever is working with you on your golf swing, they are doing a great job. Stick with them. As promised, red, white, and blue. One thing, very easy, standing a tiny bit close to it, bud. You can see how this should go from the top of the spine, elbows, knees, and toes. Just a little bit of the knees are on that side of the blue line, so just scoot back a skosh. It will help you with what I'm about to tell you. So I'm focusing on one thing here. Basically, in that takeaway, we roll the club to the inside early. This is what I call hands out, club in. Someone that does that always lifts the club to the top, and you are no different. So why can we improve on that? Well, typically when they lift the club to the top, that arm swing is working independent of their body turn, and it is typically pulled down from the top, and thus when the club is getting steep in transition, we have to get out of our posture, get out of the way of the ground so that club doesn't come crashing into it. So that white line, on that beautiful lines you set up in, that white line, you can see that we're coming out of our angles very early, going into verticals early. I've got a couple drills for you, Ethan. I know they're going to help you. Again, you're probably bigger than me by this time. So what used to be a strength issue is now going to be shallowing greatness, my friend, where you'll be able to stay in your posture and rotate through. You'll be a lot more consistent too. Let's get to it. Okay, Ethan, we're on to the driving range right now. We're just outside Chicago at one of my golf schools. I'm just about to start teaching some juniors, but I'm going to help you first. First thing that we want to do on the 18Birdies app and on the Stripe Show is create a game plan. A lot of places offer a tip, not a lot of places offer a plan. I'm going to give you a 3-step plan, my man, to improve that golf swing. First things first, I love to use very expensive technology, but I also love to use really cheap training aids that you can find everywhere. The reason your hands roll inside and that club gets inside your hands, or what we're calling hands out, club in, is one, because this shoulder doesn't move down enough. So the first thing you have to do, you already have, take your golf club, put it across your shoulder line, and let that left shoulder, that lead shoulder, work down more. That lead shoulder working down more will actually get the hands to work up more, okay? And again, a key position for you in your takeaway, and kind of where it all starts, is that we want to get into hands in, club out, which is why I have this alignment rod here. Go to Home Depot, it's $1.50, all right? Hands in, club out. You keep this club outside your hands as you're taking it back like that, okay? Next part of the swing, it's about the 2 flats. The 2 flats are this, man. Hands in, club out, flatten the wrist, flatten the downswing. You do that, you'll stay in your posture through impact, better dynamic posture, more rotation, more plugged into the ground, as opposed to the pull and the get the heck away from the ground. And if that doesn't work, the step 3 in your plan is to take, I use chairs, but we'll use the yardage sign today. It's okay, I know the guy that manages this place. We're gonna put it right here, right behind me. And if that doesn't get it out, we're gonna put this right on the glutes. Hands in, club out, 2 flats. Flatten left wrist or lead wrist, flatten downswing, and stay on the sign. You do that, it'll really help out your game. Back to you, Travis.
Jake Thurm, thanks so much. One of the most talented young teachers in today's game. Check out his lesson plans in the 18Birdies app. We got a full array of some of the top teachers in the game, all designed with good information, but in order. You watch the lesson plans in a particular order, so check out Jake's lesson plans. All right, speaking of 18Birdies app, it's time for this week's 18Birdies app feature, and it's on preferences.
Hey guys, Randy here from 18Birdies, and I'd like to talk to you about setting up your preferences in the app. You can do this through distance measurement, temperature settings, and your club direction. To do this, go to your Me page, then tap on the gear icon in the top right corner. From here, tap on Preferences, Then you can update these fields based on your preferred settings.
Accessories, options, and in the 18 Birdies app, preferences, you can pretty much do it all with the 18 Birdies app. If you haven't downloaded it, download it today. It's going to help you on the golf course, and you know what? It's going to help you off the golf course, because that's what we do here on the Stripe Show and in the community. My favorite feature of the app, they have a beautiful community in there. You can ask me questions at any time, and you know what we do here on the Stripe Show? We answer those questions. We call it Q&A. It's time for the
mailbag.
All right, my man Justin, what's our first one?
All right, Eddie from Maine. How do I shallow out my short pitch shot?
How do I shallow out my short pitch shot? All right, well, we just happen to be right here, a short little pitch, about 15, 20 yards. Shallow it out, right? Good question. Want that club head to come in and just clip it. You really want to avoid getting that leading edge to dig into the ground. A couple things. We're going to take a page out of Jason Day, speaking of shallowing out short pitches. So we're going to set up here. I'm going to get my sternum over it, just a little bit of shaft lean. Watch my right elbow. I'm going to fold my elbow. Don't get too aggressive with the left wrist. Okay, I'm going to use my right elbow and fold and pick the club head up, and that's going to allow my hands to kind of stay a little bit wider versus narrow. So right elbow going back, then I'm going to turn through and I'm going to soften the landing here. See my left wrist, left elbow? It's going to feel like you just take the butt of the club and you just put it right in your pocket here. Final thing, look at my spine, little extension. I see way too many of you staying down, okay? Let your spine extend a little bit of dish in the lower back, all of those. I'm going to shallow out that divot. Here we go. Oh yeah, just clipped it. Not very good direction there, Tom, but I clipped it right off of that ground. I like that. Great question. Number two.
All right. We got one. Should my arms be straight through impact around the green? That's from Jeremy out of Washington.
Out of Washington. I know Washington State very well. Arms straight through impact. Well, we just talked about how we can soften the elbow and the wrist, right? We call it kind of a narrow finish, right? Where I cut it off. I like that. Generally around the green, in particularly off of these tight lies. Let's try that again here. I'm going to set up and I'm going to kind of go to a little more of a narrow finish, just like that. Getting closer, getting closer. But you notice how that elbow wrist softened, right? Now, sometimes we might need to go a little longer finish, and we want the arms to straighten out. All right, here we go. So let's get in here to the rough here. Follow me, Jeremy. We're going to get over here. Sometimes the kind of ball gets sitting down in here like that. See that? Sitting down in there. And in this example, I come through. Yeah, now I can lengthen my arms out. That's a longer finish or a wider finish. All right, so you can hit it both ways. You can narrow it up, and then sometimes we need to lengthen it out. See there? My arms are a little bit longer, and that's going to get it to run out just like that. Now, practice both of them and see which one that you like in different situations. I think that little shorter off the tight lie, a little bit longer out of the rough, that's a pretty good general rule of thumb. All right.
Final question. This one's from Katie, and she says, are there any secrets to the lob shot?
Shh. There is, but if I told you the secrets, then we wouldn't have a Stripe Show, right? Because everybody would know the secrets. All right, let's try this here. Jaron, come right over here. We're going to have you right here face on. Any secrets? Well, let's see. The first one, you could say secret in hitting that high lob. You could weaken the grip. You could take that thumb, put it right on top. Okay? Put that thumb right on top just like that. I see a lot of you strong. That makes it harder. So that might be a secret. Thumb on top, maybe right hand on top. That really helps rotate the face. I'll tell you what, another secret, lob. Lower the handle down. I see too many too tall. Get down in there. And then finally, in the full swing on the Stripe Show, we're always talking about this little bit of side bend to the right. Well, in the lob, more side bend left. That gets your sternum over it because that ball's more forward. All right, so here's my secrets. Don't tell anybody. Thumb on top, handle down low, Little bit of left bend. Oh yeah, there it is. I like that. Love. Maybe those are some secrets. I never really thought of it that way, Justin. But I think if you do those 3 things, that's gonna really help hit it up in the air. You can send our questions here inside the app at 18Birdies, or you can tweet it to @18Birdies. You can tweet them to me at Travis. We'll do whatever you want. Just send us the questions and we'll give you the answers right here on the Stripe Show. All right, let's keep moving here. It's time for our next segment. It's called 60-Second Swing Fix. Time for 60-Second Swing Fix, but before we get to it, like us here at 18Birdies Facebook, and be sure to share the show, because you know the deal. If you share, you get a free mulligan, courtesy of Travis Fulton. You can tell your playing partners that I said that. All right, give me 60 seconds, Justin.
60 on the clock.
We're in the greenside bunker. It's 180 degrees here in Florida, but I'm here to help you. What I want you to do, greenside bunker, just like that lob shot, right, in the Q&A. Gonna open the face. We're gonna lower the handle down, right? Here we go, check it out from target line. I'm gonna lower the handle down, get a little cup in that left wrist. I'm gonna get a little more side bend to the left. Check this out from face on. Don't get hanging out this way. Get over here, weights left. Gonna get some arm swing going with the wrist hinge. Now, from here, watch my chest.
30 seconds.
I'm gonna turn it through. See how I did that? Like striking a mat. Right? A lot of speed. See that? Splash of the sand out. Pick up the speed with the torso. Handle down. Little side bend left.
10 seconds.
Wrist hinge. Rotate the torso through. Tom, you get that? That's 4 feet. That might be the best bunker shot that I've hit all year. I love that. Strike the match. I think that's going to help your greenside bunker play. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Stripe Show. Have a fun and safe 4th of July week. And you know what? We'll see you right back here, same time next week. Thank you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.